Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today in this video we are going to study about the potentiometer. So let us start the today's class. So first is, what is a potentiometer? So a potentiometer is an electrical device which is used to measure the EMF of a cell and its internal resistance. So what is a potentiometer? A potentiometer is a device which can measure which measures the EMF, electromotive force, what we call EMF, and internal resistance of a cell. Internal resistance of a cell. Next we will see what is the working principle of a potentiometer. Okay. Next we will see what is the working principle. So in order to understand the working principle of potentiometer, I am going to make an electrical network. Let us suppose that we have one wire, okay, of length 1 meter. This is the wire, okay. AB is a wire. Now we are connecting this wire to an external source, okay. Like this, we are connecting one external source, this battery of EMF E. Then this battery or this cell, it is known as driver cell. Okay. Now this driver cell will supply the current. Let us assume that the current supplied by this driver cell is I. So the same current will flow through the wire AB. What will be the current flowing through the wire AB? The same current I will flow through the wire AB. Let us connect another cell. Okay, we are connecting another cell which EMF is to be measured here. Okay, positive here we are connecting, and its internal resistance is equal to R. Its EMF I am taking E. This driver cell EMF I am taking E dash. Now this cell, it is connected with a galvanometer, and we have one slider also, okay, or jockey J. Now this end of the galvanometer, it is free to move from end A to end B. This is one electrical network I am making here. Okay, now what we are doing here, the positive terminal of this driver cell and the positive terminal of the cell which EMF and internal resistance is to be measured, they are connected to the same polarity, or connected to the same point A. If positive of E dash is connected A, then positive terminal of E must also be connected at point A, number 1. Number 2, the EMF of this driver cell E dash must be greater than E for the working of this electrical network. E dash must be greater than E. These two conditions are satisfied in a potentiometer. Okay. Now what we are going to do? Now we are going to slide this jockey over the wire AB until we are getting the null deflection in the galvanometer. What we are doing here, we are moving this jockey over the wire AB from end A to end B. Slowly we are moving from end A to B. Now this galvanometer will show a deflection, but we will get a point on this wire AB such that at this point the galvanometer will show the null deflection. Okay, when this galvanometer will show the null deflection, at that case no current will be drawn from this cell, or no current is passing through this electrical network. Okay, so how much potential we have applied? Now we can apply the Kirchhoff's law in this loop. Let us assume that this is the point at which we are getting the null deflection in the galvanometer. Null deflection in the galvanometer means there is no any current in this particular network, because galvanometer can show the deflection only when the current will flow through this electrical network or this part of the circuit. Now let us apply the Kirchhoff's law in this loop. This loop I am going to apply. So from this point I am moving. First I am getting positive terminal, then negative. So what is the potential difference here? The potential difference is E with negative sign, because we are moving from positive to negative. Then we are moving to point J. Now we are moving opposite to the direction of current. This is the direction of current. So if you will mark the terminal, this will be positive, this is negative. Now we are moving from negative to positive. So increase in potential. Let us assume the resistance of this part is equal to R. Okay, let us assume the resistance of this part of the wire is equal to R. Then what will be the potential drop across this wire, this section of the wire? I into R, which will be positive, because we are moving from negative to positive, and finally we are coming at the same position. It is equal to 0. Okay, because sum of all the potential differences in a closed loop, it is equal to 0. KVL I have applied. So minus E will be equal to minus IR, minus cancel. Current I, resistance is directly proportional to length. It is equal to rho. Length of this section, let us assume length of this section is equal to L. So we can write down rho into L divided by cross sectional area. I am taking A. So resistance of any wire, it is equal to rho L by A. Resistivity, which is a constant. If the wire is uniform or uniform current is flowing through this wire AB, then area will be constant. And if current we are keeping constant, then we can rearrange this equation. E will be equal to I into rho divided by A into L. This is your constant, so I am writing this constant by K. Current is constant, we are keeping current constant through this traversal. Resistivity of a wire is a constant, and A, cross sectional area, is constant. Okay, so it will be a constant K into L, or E is directly proportional to L. Means potential difference we have applied through this cell across this wire. What is the potential difference we have applied? E. Okay, across this length. And what is the length of this wire? L. So potential difference is directly proportional to L when no current is drawn. We are not drawing any current from this cell because galvanometer is showing the null deflection. So basically we are measuring the accurate potential difference or accurate EMF of a cell with the help of this potentiometer. So this is the working principle of a potentiometer. The working principle of a potentiometer is that the potential difference applied, PD applied across any length of a wire is directly proportional to its length, provided the cross section of the wire is uniform and constant current is flowing through the wire. So this is the working principle of the potentiometer. Now first we are going to see the constructional part. This is the circuit diagram to explain the working principle of a potentiometer. Let us see what is the constructional details of a potentiometer when we measure the EMF of a cell or when we measure the internal resistance of a cell in a lab. So these are the constructional details. Construction. Okay. So basically we have a wire. Basically 4 or 5 wires are there, or more than 4 or 5 wires are there, and the length of each wire is 1 meter. Okay, 100 centimeter wire is there. That wire is made from the special material, that is manganese or constantan. I will explain. So we have 2 points. Let us assume 2 points. This point is A, okay, and we have this point B. This is the metallic knob, okay, and we have wires. 4 wires are there. Let us assume, let us take 4 wires here, okay. Wire 1, wire 2, wire 3, and this is your wire 4. There are 4 wires here, okay. 4 wires are there, and the wires of these 4 wires, the ends of these wires are joined with the metallic strip. Here one metallic strip is there. This is your metallic strip, thick metallic strip, so that the end resistance is very small. These are the metallic strips. Here also we have one metallic strips, and below this wire we have one scale, meter scale, just placed below it. We have one meter scale which is placed just below this potentiometer wire. Here I am connecting the meter scale here. Let us connect one meter scale. Okay. We have one meter scale. This is the meter scale. Okay. We can mark. This is the scale. Starting from 0 to 100 centimeter. Like this. We have 1 meter scale just placed below the wire. Okay, so starting from 0 to 100 centimeter. Now this is your scale, meter scale, and these are the 4 wires. These are the metallic strips, and these are the 2 points A and B. And this whole arrangement is fixed. Fixed over a wooden frame. We have this wooden frame over which this whole arrangement is fixed. This is the wooden frame. wooden board, we can say. Okay, this is your wire, potentiometer wire, potentiometer wire, and these are thick metallic strip, and we have this meter scale here, and this wooden board I have already written here. So this is the constructional details of a potentiometer. We have this thick metallic strip, that is, we are keeping the metallic strip to be thick so that its resistance is very low, and this wire of length 1 meter, they are made from the special material that is known as manganese or constantan, because their coefficient of resistance, temperature coefficient of resistance, alpha, we know the variation of resistance of a conductor with temperature, R is equal to R naught 1 plus alpha into temperature difference, T minus T naught. So temperature, with the increase in temperature, the resistance of conductor increases. But when we are performing the experiment, due to increase in temperature, because when the current will flow, the resistance may increase. But these wires, manganese and constantan, they are also known as potentiometer wire, their alpha value is very less. So with increase in temperature, their increase in resistance will be very, very low. So we will get the accurate measurement while using this potentiometer. So that is the purpose of using this potentiometer wire, which is made from the manganese or constantan. Now let us draw the circuit diagram. These are the constructional details. Now we are connecting the external battery or external driver cell. We are connecting one driver cell. Here we can connect like this with the battery, with the wire. We can connect between these 2 points. Let us connect between these 2 points. Okay, here we are connecting negative, positive, negative, positive. Okay, here we can connect one cell, and this is one key. Okay, so this is known as driver cell, which will drive the current through these wires. Okay, its EMF I am taking E. Okay, and this switch is K. Now first we are going to measure the EMF of a cell. First we are going to measure EMF of a cell. So when we are going to measure EMF of a cell, what will be the circuit diagram? How we can measure the EMF of a cell using this potentiometer, we are going to see here. So what we will do, we will take the cell. We can take 2 cells here. One cell here I am connecting. Here we are connecting one cell. Now this is your positive terminal. This is your negative terminal. Then switch we can take K1. Another cell we can take. This is your another cell from the same point. Suppose this point is A, this point is B. Okay. This cell K2, and finally we can connect through a common point, and here is one galvanometer, and this is the slider or jockey, which can run from point B to point A. So this is the circuit diagram when we are going to measure the EMF of a cell. Okay, so let us assume we have first cell, its EMF is equal to E1, and we have second cell, its EMF is equal to E2, and the EMF of the driver cell is E. Okay, the first condition that must be satisfied when we are performing this experiment is E must be greater than E1 and E must be greater than E2. Means the EMF of the driver cell must be greater than the EMF of the cells to be measured. These are the cells, its EMF is E1 and E2, let us assume. So we are going to connect a driver cell which EMF must be greater than E1 and E2. Okay, number 1. Number 2 is all the terminals. If you are connecting the positive terminal of this driver cell to point B, then the positive terminal of these cells, which EMF is to be measured, they must also be connected to point B. Okay, and if the negative terminal of this driver cell is connected at point B, then same negative terminal of these cells must be connected at point B. These are the 2 cases which must be kept in mind while performing the experiment using the potentiometer. Okay, and if you are not doing this, there will be error in the measurement. That is known as the possible causes of error while we are using the potentiometer. Okay, one-sided deflection the potentiometer will show, because when you will take this galvanometer at one end, suppose point B, then galvanometer will show the deflection at one side, and when you will take this slider or jockey at point A, the galvanometer must show, or the pointer of the galvanometer must show the deflection to other side. But if it is showing the deflection at one side only, then there is a problem, and that is the problem. Okay, due to these causes, you will get the problem. So to remove that problem, we must satisfy these two conditions. First, EMF of the driver cell must be greater than the EMF of the cells to be measured. And number two, the polarity. This polarity must be same when they are connected at a common point. Okay. Now let us start the experiment. So first, what we will do, step number one. The first step is, we will close K and K1. K and K1 is closed. Let us close K and K1. And K2 is open. K2 is open. Okay. When K2 is open, this cell is not in action. Only this cell, driver cell, and the cell having EMF E1 is in action. Okay. Now current will flow because you are getting the closed path. This cell also will provide the current through this circuit, and this cell will provide the current through the external circuit. Now what we will do? Now we will slide this jockey or slider over the wire. Slowly we will slide from point B to point A. When we will start sliding the jockey or the slider over the wire, we will get a point P on this wire where it will show the null deflection. Let us assume this is a point P. At point P, when we are closing the switch K1, let us assume at point P we are getting the null deflection. Let us measure this length to be L1. This length L1 is directly measured from the scale which is placed here. That is the meter scale. We can measure this length where we are getting the null deflection. This length can be measured. Now we can apply the principle of potentiometer, working principle of potentiometer. Now across this length, how much potential difference we have applied? We have applied E1. So this potential difference E1 must be directly proportional to L1. When we remove the proportionality constant, we take K into L1. This is your equation number 1. Okay, this is your equation number 1. This is your first step. Now next step, what we will do? Now in next step, we will close K and K2 and K1 open. Okay, now what we will do? Now switch K and K2 is closed and K1 is open now. So cells having EMF E and E2, they will be in the action. Again, what we will do? We will start sliding the jockey over the wire from point B to point A. Okay, and when we have started sliding a jockey over the wire, let us assume that we are getting the null deflection at this point. Okay, let us assume at this point. Here I am taking at this point. Okay, P dash where we are getting. Again, we can measure the balancing length. Let us assume this length is L2. Okay, this length is L2. Now, how much potential difference we have applied across this length of wire? Now we have applied E2. So according to the principle of working of potentiometer, E2 must be directly proportional to L2, or E2 will be equal to K into L2. This is your equation number 2. Now let us divide these two equations. When we will divide these two equations, we will get equation 1 divided by equation 2. We will have E1 by E2 is equal to K into L1 by L2, KL2, K cancel. So basically we will get E1 by E2 is equal to L1 by L2. Okay, L1 and L2 we have measured. Okay, from the potentiometer, L1 and L2 are balancing length. Now if the EMF of any one of the cell is known, suppose one cell is a standard cell and we know the value, then E2 can be easily measured. If E2 is a standard cell, its EMF is known, we can measure the EMF E1. So either we can measure the EMF E1 and A2. If any one cell is a standard cell, means its value is known to you, its EMF is known to you, you can measure the EMF of other cell, or we can compare the EMF of these two cells if their EMF is not known to us. So this is the first application of potentiometer, that is to measure the EMF of a cell or to compare the EMF of a cell. And this is the circuit diagram. And how we have connected, I have explained. Now let us move to the other application of the potentiometer, that is to measure the internal resistance of a cell. How we can measure the internal resistance of a cell using this potentiometer. So next we will see only this circuit diagram I am reviewing. We will see the circuit diagram when we are measuring the internal resistance of a cell. Okay. So next is to measure the internal resistance of a cell. How we can measure the internal resistance of a cell? Using this potentiometer. So second application is measurement of internal resistance of a cell. Internal resistance of a cell. So let us take a cell here and we will connect here. Let us take a cell which EMF is equal to E, or we can take its EMF is E, and here we have taken E. So I am taking its EMF is E1. Basically E I should take. This driver cell EMF I changed now. It is E dash and EMF is E here, and internal resistance is equal to R. Now we are going to measure we have one cell which EMF is given E and its internal resistance is equal to R. We are going to measure the internal resistance. What will be the internal resistance of this cell? So here we can connect one internal resistance. In parallel, we can connect one switch also here. Here we can connect, anywhere you can connect this switch. Let us take this switch as K1. And in parallel, we are connecting one resistance box, okay, RB. So resistance box is nothing, but it is a box containing variable resistance. By selecting a particular key, you can insert the resistance in this particular electrical network. Or simply you can say resistance box is nothing, but it will provide some resistance, known resistance R. Okay, it is connected to, let us take this, it's connected to this switch K2. Okay, and finally they are at the common point, and this is your galvanometer, and finally this galvanometer is running over the potentiometer wire. So this is the circuit diagram when we are measuring the internal resistance of a cell. Cell we will take, and this cell will be connected through a switch K1 to point P. Then we will take one resistance box or known resistance. We will connect in parallel, common point P, and the common point of these two are connected to galvanometer. One end of the galvanometer, other end is connected to the jockey or slider, which is moving over this potentiometer wire. Red lines you can see here. Now steps we will see what we are going to do. First, what we are going to do, we are going to close switch K and K1. We will close switch K and K1, and K2 will be open, and K2 is open. Again we will do the same thing. We are going to obtain the null deflection in the galvanometer. Now slowly this slider slides over the wire from B to A. So when we will start sliding, we will get a point P on this potentiometer wire, where this galvanometer will show the null deflection. Let us assume that at this point we are getting the null deflection. We can measure this length. Let us assume this length is L1. Okay, so how much potential difference we have applied across this wire? We have applied E, because this is open, so this is not supplying the current, or no any cell, either E dash or E, they are not supplying the current through this external resistance. Okay, so only the cell E is connected across this length here. So we can say E is, or E1 basically we can take, E is directly proportional to L1, or we can say E is equal to K into L1. This is your equation number 1. This is your first step. In the next step, what we will do, we will also close this switch K2. Now all the switches are closed. The step number 2, all the switches are closed. All the switches are closed. When we will close all the switches, and we will slowly slide this jockey over this potentiometer wire. Let us assume the new null point we are getting at this point. Okay, this length, let us assume this length is equal to L2. Okay, but you can see here, when this galvanometer will show the null deflection, obviously no current is drawn from this wire. But certainly when you are connecting this resistance box in parallel, and you are closing the switch, this cell can supply the current through this external resistance. This cell will not supply the current through this wire, this section of the wire, because galvanometer is showing the null deflection, means no current is flowing through this electrical network. Okay, but this cell can supply the current through this external resistance. So here, when the current is drawn from this cell having EMF E, now we define the potential difference. When there is no current drawn from the cell, we define the EMF. So I have written EMF E. Now we can define the potential difference V. So now the same condition we can say. Now potential difference across this section. Okay, let us assume second case. Now how much potential difference? Let us assume it is V. It will be directly proportional to L2, or V will be equal to K into L2. Equation number 2. Okay, let us divide these two equations. Equation 1 divided by equation 2. So when we will divide 1 divided by 2, then we will get left hand side we will get E by V, right hand side we will get L1 by L2. Okay, now we know the formula of internal resistance of a cell. What is the internal resistance of a cell? The internal resistance of a cell, it is equal to small r is equal to capital R into E by V minus 1, where R is the external resistance. Just I have told you, we will select this external resistance from the resistance box, or this is the known resistance, so R we know. Now, so internal resistance R will be equal to capital R, replace the value of E. What is the value of E? K into L1, and what is the value of V? K into L2 minus 1. K cancel, so small r will be equal to capital R, L1 by L2 minus 1. You can see we have measured the value of R. Because we know the value of capital R, how much we have selected, or what is the resistance, what is the value of resistance we have selected from the resistance box. L1 and L2, the balancing length L1 and L2, we have measured from this experiment, potentiometer experiment. How we have measured? I have explained here. So this is all about the potentiometer. So in this video, what we have seen? First we have seen what is a potentiometer. Next we have seen the working principle. What is the working principle of a potentiometer? Then we have seen the constructional details. What are the different parts in a potentiometer? And finally we have seen the application. Two application of a potentiometer. Number one is to measure the EMF of a cell, and number two is to measure the internal resistance of a cell. So that's all from that class today. Hopefully you have understood. Thank you everyone.